For those of you that finally have movie theaters open again where you're living at, or about to have movie theaters open again where you are living at, I have one word for you. One word that will get you to the right doors into the movie theaters that you go to. That word is Tenet. Yes, this was a phenomenal film and definitely one to be seen in the theater. I can see why Christopher Nolan, waited so long, wanted to wait to get this film released in the theaters, because this is a film for sure that is made to be seen in a theater. The surround sound and soundtrack of this movie is so amazing, and I definitely missed being in that theater setting again. And absolutely, absolutely loved it. Now, as I said, the soundtrack for this movie was absolutely amazing. Probably one of my favorite soundtracks that went along with the film. And I thought the sound mixing and sound editing and a lot of the background sound was really cool too. And was really well done, which is funny because one of the common complaints I've seen about this movie and a lot of Nolan films now actually is that his background noise sound is too loud and like overpowers the actual dialogue sound between like the characters when we're trying to listen to what they're saying. And so I've heard people, with that complaint, and they've had a complaint that because of that you can't really hear what the main characters are saying sometimes, when they're giving exposition. But I didn't have that problem, when I went and saw this film, at least not for me. As I said, I thought the sound editing and sound mixing was actually really good for the most part. Now another complaint that people have about Christopher Nolan's films sometimes too is that they can be really hard to follow. And I feel like Christopher Nolan, he does this to keep you intrigued as the plot's going on. You're supposed to be asking questions as the plot goes on. And yes, this movie is very, very plot heavy. And because of that, you don't really get to know some of the characters as much, but some of the characters you do get to understand and know a whole lot more by the end of the film. And the main character in the film is actually referred to as the protagonist, even in the film. He never actually receives a name, but he is a really cool character to follow. And I thought John David Washington did excellent in this film. And this really feels like it's Christopher Nolan doing like a James Bond like spy thriller for the first time. I read one review that said this movie was like Bond but on acid, and that's like a perfect review. Because as I said, one complaint that Christopher Nolan gets about some of his movies sometimes is that they can be hard to follow since they are so plot heavy. And he introduces so many intriguing new concepts to where it is like watching whatever that type of genre movie is on acid, because you sometimes have a hard time trying to follow, keeping track of everything that's going on. In this movie, I'm not gonna lie, it does that for like the first over 80 minutes or so of the movie. You have a lot of questions about things, but then everything is just glued together, it feels like, so well and perfectly at the end, to where it becomes one of those movies where right as you get done seeing it, you want to go back and see it again, just because everything makes so much more sense and you're able to piece more things together that happened throughout the film. And even though the first viewing you have a lot of questions for about like the first 80 minutes or so of the film, there are so many set pieces and action sequences to still keep you so entertained, throughout the way. And there are so many mind-blowing scenes still. And what amazes me about Christopher Nolan is that this movie takes the concept of time travel, kind of a concept that has already been so overdone, has been so overkilled in a lot of movies, right, in a lot of films, and he still finds a way to be creative with it. Like, he adds something new to it, to the table. There's so many cool action sequences where you see this in the trailer, and there's even more in the movie. You see there's so many cool action sequences where you can see someone going forward in time while there's someone going backwards in time. They're coming together and fighting each other. And because this movie deals with inverting time, there's so many cool like stage sequences too, like set pieces where like you could see something blow up and then get like reconstructed. It's just amazing. And I'm not going to say or spoil too much, and it is really hard to get into the plot of this film without major spoilers. But yeah, basically they are trying to stop World War III, as they say in the trailer, stop these weapons that are made in the future from coming back and destroying the world in the past, because it's all this inverted technology and they're trying to find a way to stop it. But again, it is a very plot heavy movie, and it is a little hard to follow at first in some bits, but it definitely does keep you entertained with the set pieces all throughout. And by the end, you get to the film, it makes so much sense. And I think because of that, it just makes the film so much better. Because when I think of what makes a really good movie, to me, I think of the movies that actually make you think afterwards. And also the movies that have a good rewatchability factor. And what makes a good movie, really good movie to me, is a movie that has such good rewatchability factor that you can go back and watch it and catch up on more things. And Tenet has that, and it is a spectacle to be seen for sure. Definitely worth the trip back to the movies again. And the theater I went to was very good on the social distancing and mask and everything. I felt like that was awesome. But yeah, if you get a chance to see it, definitely see Tenet in theaters, and I would totally suggest the full IMAX experience. I had a blast with this film. For me, it definitely gets 4.5 out of 5 stars. But yeah, if y'all see Tenet, let me know what you think about it. Hope y'all enjoyed this review, and I will see y'all in my next video. Peace out.